All right, well, Collingwood star Jack Crisp is under investigation this morning after confronting images of the player surfaced online.
Some of the images include derogatory language towards women, while others appear to reference illicit substances. Now, let's bring in Collingwood legend Mick Malthouse. Mick, we've been talking about this all morning. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's probably just embarrassing for him at worst, right?
Good morning, Carl, Sarah. Yes, it probably is. And I always get the timing of these things. It happens just on the eve of a big game. Look, it's still silly. And let's face it, you've got to class it as stupid.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't know what penalty the AFL or Collingwood could give, but he wouldn't have slept too well last night.
Nah.
And if you can't give 100%, he's going to be just a little bit off, I reckon, because you're right, he's going to be totally embarrassed.
Well, that's the thing, Mick. You've been in those club rooms. You've been behind a lot of those decisions made at various clubs, including Collingwood. How do you think the Pies and the AFL are going to react to this?
Well, I think the AFL have got to investigate it. I mean, that's the first and foremost, and they can drag things out, as we know. I mean, it could be well after next Christmas if they decide that way. Well, you know what they like, the AFL, and secondly, Collingwood would be. They will take everything into account. The embarrassment alone is a penalty. I think it apparently it's taken place some time ago, so he's matured. I would suspect that he would be looking at it going, how silly was I? So, what can you really do outside of coming clean with it and then making some comment that you're going forward? And I think that Collingwood, they're smart enough to realise that.
I agree with you. And look, whoever's shared this is he's got to raise questions about who he's sharing his company with and all that kind of stuff. But he seems like a really good bloke, Jack, and he'd be really feeling this now, and it's affecting his main form of income.
Well, it is. Yes, I do believe he's a fantastic young man, and people make mistakes, and he's clearly made one. I think the players would be supporting him, but would be a little bit worried about the reaction that will come from the Brisbane crowd. You know what the Brisbane people are like, Carl. They're not going to miss him. They won't miss him at all. So I reckon his teammates will be rallying around him.
Yeah, and I think they'll be fine, the Lions. I mean, how do you think the Lions will beat Collingwood tonight?
It's going to be tough for the Pies tonight without a ruckman.
Who needs ruckman? They're as good as what Collingwood are.
You reckon they'll win again?
Brisbane have got all the tools they like. Yes, I do. Look, Brisbane just are uninspiring. Their forward line, they're the only ground that's got 6 goalposts at one end, and there's 2 of them supposed to be able to move around, but they don't. So Collingwood will run off them like there's no mercy, and I think the Pies will get them on the ground. So it'll be a big effort by Brisbane to win, and I think Collingwood just need to maintain their age. They really are in terrific form.
Yes, I like the sound of that, Mick. Hey, what about the Gabba though, right? I mean, do you reckon it's paid its energy bill? Are the lights going to stay on tonight?
It is in Brisbane.
Anything can happen, right?
Oh, well, it's a big state, and who knows? Look, if they're behind, pull the plug. I mean, at some stage the AFL are going to say, well, we'll call it quits and award 2 points each. Now, in fairness, we know what took place. It's not the first time that those things have happened, and it probably won't be the last. It's, just when you've got a big stadium with a lot of people. But at the end of the day, we're seeing some fantastic games.
Yeah.
Early games in particular are really meaningful. It's giving some bottom sides a chance to play against bottom sides and record wins. It takes them close to the, in a moment for their supporters. So the footy's pretty good. Not every game's a great game, but we should see a great game tonight because I think Brisbane have been hurt by the way they've played and the way the public have been associating with them. They need to show something, put it that way.
They absolutely do, and I think they will. I reckon tonight's going to be a ripper. Mick, thanks so much for your insight.